Hello and welcome to the Thoughtfully Made Fiber Vlogcast. My name is Amy Scher. I am a knitwear designer and spinner living here in St. Louis, Missouri. Sometimes I also talk about sewing, but I am very much like a beginner amateur sewist. So I am here today on February 13th. Today is a Sunday. It is a bit of like a calm before the storm situation here. I'm about to head into a triple launch week. It's gonna be like 3 straight weeks of launching, which I didn't plan for because one of the launches is for a magazine and I don't control like when they release the magazine, so it's quite busy around here. But I really want to sit down and talk to you a little bit about all the things that I'm doing, particularly the first launch. By the time you see this, the coloring book Raglan will be live today. I plan to post this on February 17th. So I wanted to come by and tell you a little about all the different versions of it. The coloring book Raglan was inspired by coloring pages and favorite sweatshirts of the 1990s. When I was growing up, I pretty much lived in like a t-shirt, sweatshirt, and jeans because that was like the 90s kid uniform where, like in the region where I was growing up. I loved those sweatshirts and I really wanted to create a slouchy and sporty sweatshirt-like pattern that would be that would have different like lengths and modifications available to take it from winter to spring. So today I am wearing the spring version of this pattern. It is a cropped length and it has wide sleeves, wide cropped sleeves, and it has these stripes going from the chest down. So this spring version is View B of the coloring book Raglan. It's knit up in Coast to Coast Yarn Company's natural worsted, which is a 100% non-superwash merino. I don't have a micron count, but just from the touch of it, it's quite a fine merino. In this skein, it looks like this. This is like my leftover skein. It's such a beautiful color. I love, this is the color I used to knit the stripes. It's called Velvet Foot, and it was one of the colors of her mushroom inspired club last year. She'll be doing a mush club, I think it's like a special pre-order update in March with every color from the club last year. So if you're interested in knitting up this version in these particular colors or in any mush club colors, that update will be in March. The main color I have knitted up from is this one. This one is called Buttons, and as you can see, it's just inspired by like regular button white mushrooms, and it's like the perfect little creamy white. So cute. So I wanted this like really neutral colored version of the coloring book Raglan. So thank you, Erin, for the yarn support. Really excited to wear this in the spring. I did an interview with the Wandering Flock on her Instagram live yesterday, Friday. I'll link it below because it's still available to watch on her Instagram, and I was wearing this the whole time outside because my baby was crying and my husband was in charge of watching her, and it was so loud and I just could not. Anyway, I was outside in this cropped sweater for like an hour and I was so cold by the time I came back in. So this is definitely, this view definitely has like a lot of airflow in it. So I'm really looking forward to wearing this view all the way through spring, because the other view that I have here This one, view A, is knit in Sandnes Garn's alpaca wool, which was kindly provided by Mother Knitter. I think I talked about this last episode, so I'm not gonna like go on forever, but it's like a very woolly wool with alpaca blended in it. Focus, please. Oop. There we go. So that's like a substantial winter weight. It's so interesting how like even my chest feels so much warmer in that version. The two are both worsted weight, but the alpaca really adds like an intense warmth. So that's really lovely. So that's view A. I'll pop a picture here, but view A is full length with tapered sleeves, which I prefer for winter because when it's cropped and wide like this, there's just so much airflow that it's quite chilly in winter. So when I go outside, I typically wear the tapered sleeve in winter. But I'm really looking forward to being able to wear this one in spring also. So that's out today. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the third version, which is like all the way over here. I've got it in like this laundry basket here. But the third version is knit from Nutiden. I think I showed it last time, but I'm so close to finishing. I'm halfway down the second sleeve now. And this is definitely like a winter weight. So this one has a different striping scheme than the one I'm wearing. It's a modification on the base pattern. So you would have to modify the pattern slightly, like just knit this. You would just have to knit the stripes a little bit differently than is given in the pattern to get this version. But I really love it. It has like a very marine type look to it because of the thinner stripes. I'll put a picture here. If I get around to it, editing time is going to be real tight this week. But I hope to have that finished by Thursday, by the time you see it. Yeah, there's still quite a few cold days left in winter for me to enjoy this Nutiden version. But I really just wanted to show what this pattern looks like in Nutiden, since I'm such a big fan. I talked about that before, so I won't like go on and on about it. Let's move on to some of my other finished objects. So I have here this skein of hand spun yarn. I was spinning this in the last episode, I think, and it's all finished now. This one was dyed by Wound Up Fiber Arts. It is a comb top sock fiber. Yeah, I love the way the barber pulling worked out, and I'm really excited to be able to show it to you knit up. I think the greens turned out so subtle and beautiful, and I'm really happy with like the heavy fingering to sport weight consistency that I got, and it's probably one of my most consistent spins yet. And I spun it up in a traditional 3-ply. And I can't wait to dig into it. I have a few samples to finish still, so I have that Nutiden sample, and then I also have the Go Gently cardigan, which is still a whip. So when I finish those, then I can cast this on. So that's my finished object. I don't have a lot to share today, honestly. Like, I don't have a lot of finished objects, and I don't have a lot of time to make like 1,000 edits, so this will be a more casual kind of like casual chatty episode where I just wanted to sit down and record. You know, what you see is what you're gonna get. So let's move on to some whips. My La Bien Aimée cardigan has a name now. It is called the Go Gently cardigan. The ruffle is on, and the first sleeve is on, and the buttons are on. So it's close enough to being finished that I feel pretty good about sending it into testing. So here it is folded in half. There's that hybrid yoke construction we talked about last time with the round yoke up top and the raglan yoke on the bottom. So this has gone into testing, and this is part of my spring collection. The Go Gently cardigan, I'll hopefully have it out in like late April. I designed this cardigan, I think I talked about it last time, but I wanted like a big woolly hug version of it, but also still keeping it within like the spring theme of the effervescent pullover. So I think I have accomplished that. It's an oversized spring cardigan. And the open gauge really gives it a lightness, and yeah, I named it Go Gently because I think, like a lot of people, I feel quite tired and oftentimes burned out with everything that's going on in the world, and trying to live in a sustainable and ethical and anti-racist way can be so exhausting, and you burn out very quickly. And there's this idea that we should always be fighting, 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 but lately I'm really learning that to give ourselves to a cause also means taking care of our bodies and taking care of our minds and souls. The Go Gently cardigan is intended to bring comfort and joy to the knitter and the wearer, so that and gentleness and ease for the wearer and the knitter, so that you can give back to your community from that place of rest and abundance. That's very important to me, that the work I do is for equity is sustainable and holistic. That's very important to me. So that is my hope, and hopefully a gift from me to especially my coffee subscribers, just something to think about. Finding a routine where you can have downtime and rest and do the things that bring you joy, such as knitting and fiber arts, and then pouring out from that place of abundance instead of pouring from an empty cup. So that is the concept of the Go Gently cardigan. It's a big concept, but I hope that it will resonate with many of you. Okay, what else? Today I have quite a few acquisitions. Earlier I will have shown some footage of myself making strawberry milk tea, because next week the spring issue of Pom Pom magazine will be released into yarn shops, and I just really wanted to give something to my coffee subscribers. So I think I talked about the strawberry milk tea last time, so I won't go on about it. And I also found like my ancient leftover skein of the yarn that's on the cover. So I wanted to talk about it briefly because there's not going to be an episode next week. But here it is. It is a single fingering, single merino. It's called Rainbow Sherbet. So in the pattern, I actually gave it the wrong name, the colorway. So I'm sorry, Geraldine. The pattern used, I think in my size, it was like 2.5 skeins. So I unexpectedly had a skein left over because I expected to use so much more yardage than I did. So there's that one. And then I received my magazine in the mail. Oh, look at it. I'm so happy. Makes me so happy. With this pattern, I also wanted to give joy and ease and like the abundant joy of living in between. And that is the concept of the sweater. Being diaspora, Chinese, Taiwanese, American, with like, so I have a grandpa who comes from China who lived the rest of his life after the Civil War in Taiwan. So for those who don't know, there's quite a number of people from Taiwan whose heritage will be mixed, Taiwanese and Chinese. That's why I often identify as someone who has Chinese heritage, but nationality wise, I'm like 100% Taiwanese. So there's that. But it was so moving for me to receive this magazine in the mail, and the whole issue makes me really happy, like the other patterns that are in this pattern. I'm really excited to knit up the RAVELRY socks by Allison Lutz. Her name is Field Wonderful on Instagram. I'll drop her link below. But I'm really excited to try knitting those. I'm hoping to find some time to knit that. So that's the magazine. This will be hitting your yarn shops, your local yarn shop, next week, February 24th. So if you have not pre-ordered it and you would like it, then that is when you can find it. So next week, the day before the magazine launch, I will be doing a giveaway. So I will be giving away a second copy, or my second copy of this issue. So follow me on Instagram if you would like to see that giveaway next week. My name on there is @AmySureMakes, just in case you didn't know yet. I'll have all my contact info and different social media places in the description box below, as always. Alright, let's see what else. I've got some today. This is like, I keep saying this, but I have a lot of acquisitions. I have received this lovely wool soap from Tuft Woolens. I first purchased, this one's called the Pinyon Woods. It's like a very woodsy scent, very classic. But I first purchased their wool soap and also their hand balm, which I keep in my knitting basket because my hands are getting really dry. Since this is my first winter, I like literally did not realize how cracked and dry my hands would become. So I'm putting some on my hands now, this thick balm. I first purchased their soaps quite a few months ago, and they have become my go-to for hand washing. So I still use liquid soap for machine washing, like when I wash superwash stuff in the machine. But for hand washing in a basin, I love using the solid soap. I love the recyclable packaging. That's also made from recycled paper. I love the scents that it comes in. And I love that there's like loads of lanolin in the soap and in the balm. So it really conditions my skin and also my knits when I wash them. What I like about the balm is that the lanolin really is like a little bit tacky, and I love tacky lanolin feelings. It's one of my favorite feelings. And when I knit with it, I get transfer, like the lanolin will stick to the wool, and the whole sweater is like conditioned as I knit and as I wash. So I think they're great to use together. I reached out to ask them about a scent, the vanilla almond one, and when I can get one, because I wanted to show it to you all in the packaging, and they very graciously sent me this one. So the vanilla almond one I also have like a small offcut of, but it wasn't like ready, like the full bars were not ready when I asked for it. So I got this one instead, and it also smells super good. So I'll probably be saving this to give away soon, also on my Instagram. Okay, I don't have a lot more to say about that, so I'm gonna move on. So I'll be giving that soap away sometime on Instagram, probably with one of my sock releases or the knit along or something, I don't know. But I'll probably purchase the vanilla almond one because the sample I got was so lovely that I really want a whole bar of that. So the one that they have sent me, Martha has sent me, I will be giving away. So that is great. I just really wanted to show it, and I also made like a bunch of reels about it, and I'll be making more reels about soap. Part of the stuff that I've been, like, part of my reels thing over on Instagram is that I really want knitters who follow me to experience the full joy of every part of knitting and wearing and caring for a sweater. There's so much joy to be had in like the little things, in taking care of the things that we made and love and making them last a long time. And I think oftentimes like the same concept with the sweater, like I feel like we're asked to do so much labor. We're asked to go hard, to work hard, all of these things, and anything that any rituals or routines that I can add to my day to make these things joyful and even restful. And part of my restfulness routine is something that will bring joy and ease and give me longevity in what I do, and like longevity not only in the sweater but in my spirit. So that is why I wanted to share this soap with you all and why I asked for one. So there's that. Other acquisitions. Let's see, I've got, and I think this is the last one for now, I've got some new Nutiden in the house. So because I started knitting up my stash quite quickly, like once you start with these, they look massive, but once you start, they knit up so fast because of the big gauge. But I have received so much new Nutiden. So these are 2 colors that came in the February collection, which I was completely enamored by. This one I think is called Snow. It's an undyed wool, and it's the fluffiest plate I've ever seen. It's like the size, literally the size of an actual plate. It's so fluffy and lofty, and I'm so excited about it. And then this one I think is called Skulskra. This one is like a really deep and interesting and complex heather green with like black and yellow bits shooting through it. So I've got 2 plates of this guy and 4 plates of this guy, and I will be making the Weatherall pullover by Kiyomi Virgin, which I think I talked about. I already bought the pattern and taken a look at it. It's honestly such a clever pattern. It's seriously like, I love studying the work of other designers because I'm still quite new myself. And seeing how other people lay things out can be quite educational for me. And this pattern is seriously just such a cleanly written, like very easy to understand pattern. And the numbers in it are so neat and clean, which like they're all, like it's hard to explain it, but the increases are so easy to understand. They're like an increase even around. And it's so neat, so clean, so easy to knit. I am so like enamored with that pattern right now, and I cannot wait to cast it on. Part of what I think makes a good designer is just the ability to understand what you love about other people's patterns and learning from other people. Of course, we're not here, like none of us are here like copying each other's patterns, but I think seeing the way someone explains something can be really helpful. Seeing different perspectives I think is important in life. So that is what I have coming up. I have been quite busy. Next week I will be teaching a sweater class at Vogue Knitting Live. How to modify the coloring Book Raglan, that class is sold out. So since I talked about it last time, it's sold out. So for those of you who already signed up for it, thank you, and I can't wait to see you there. And my Choose Your Own Adventure socks class for beginners is still open. So if you'd like to join me and learn how to knit some socks, I'd love to see you there. I'll drop the link in the description box. So next week I've got, or rather this week, so by the time you see it, it'll be this weekend. This week I've got the launch for the Coloring Book Raglan. I've got the Vogue knitting class. Then next week the Pom Pom magazine comes out. Then that weekend Mel from Big Little Yarn Co. will be having an update. And I will be part of the update because I've designed that sock pattern. Then on the week after that, I'll be launching the sock pattern. I did not plan to be this busy because I have no control over like the timing of Melanie's last update or the timing of the magazine launch. Melanie is not retiring. She's just going on hiatus for a while. Just for personal reasons. So if you go over to her vlog, which I'll also link below, you'll find out why. But part of what I do here is that I'm very people-centered, people-focused. There's no point in like talking about diversity or equity or doing collabs if we can't be inclusive of every person's circumstance. So I think there will be another episode that weekend, but I've been thinking a lot lately about it, and I'd like to build more ease into my business model because I can't tell people to rest if I'm not resting. And part of it is that when other people need to go on leave or when collabs fall through because people have like a family situation or medical issues, then it is what it is. The whole point of these collaborations is for me to be able to uplift other makers, and there is no collaboration without other makers. There is no business without all the people I work with. There is no celebration of Asian and Asian American makers if there are no Asian or Asian American makers. It's all about the people. So while I had a much bigger launch planned with different collabs for March for the Arrow to the Moon socks, I have had to scale back because of different circumstances. There will still be notions. There will still be pre-orders for the book, Arrow to the Moon. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, check out my previous episode in which I talk about it and show the socks. But this pattern's still coming out. Mel is still going to do her update at Big Little Yarn Co. But yeah, it's smaller than I anticipated, but that's okay. I've been going so hard that it's actually quite nice to be able to relax and do a little bit less. After that, I'll be busy getting the Go Gently cardigan ready to publish, but it's in testing already, so there's not like loads left to do. And then after that, it will be a little bit before there's a pattern from me. There's still the May socks, but I can turn around a sock quite quickly now. And then after that, it'll be a while. I'm already dreaming about my fall collection and even some winter projects for next year. Yeah, and just planning ease into my schedule. So for all of you who are still here and still watching, thank you for watching. I hope that you're doing well and that you will find some ease going into this weekend. The coloring book Raglan is out today, and I hope you'll give it a look. Yeah, I can't wait to share all my other plans with you. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend.